So here we are at the 3 Mile complex in my hometown of St. John, New Brunswick. I can't tell you how delighted I am to be headlining this gig. Shane Ogden, who runs Shane Ogden Presents, has been running these shows here for 5 years, bringing stand-up comedy and stand-up comedians from all over the world to our little city of St. John to perform for the wonderful people of St. John. So to be headlining this is a dream. I mean, to be honest, moving here kind of just over a year and a half ago, the fact that Shane did these shows meant a lot because it meant that there was some work here. Of course, I had no idea how awesome these shows were even then. I've done a few of them, I've emceed them, I've tried out new material at them. Tonight I'm headlining, and the show is called The Best of New Brunswick. So what Shane has done is gone around New Brunswick, working with and traveling with different comedians, and hand-picked his favorite comics from this beautiful province. So here we are, St. John, The Best of New Brunswick, a sold-out show. There's 250 people in there, raring to go, and I'm pumped. I often can get nervous before shows. I don't really feel nervous. I just feel like we're going to have a fantastic night. I'm 5 minutes from my house in St. John, the place everyone said there wasn't any work, there's no work here, no one wants a comedian here, and I spend all day with my son and his friends in my garden, and I jump in the car and I drive 5 minutes, and I'm here at this awesome venue about to perform to 250 or so beautiful people of St. John. It's living the dream, isn't it? Let's do the show. Hendry's emceeing, so we know it's going to be slick as tonight.
Are you excited, New Brunswick? Okay, St. John, you came on a great night. We're going to have a great time with the comedians tonight. You're going to see the best comedians we have in the province. Your host and MC for the evening is no exception. Put your hands together. All the way from Sackville, Mr. Jeff Hendry. Hello. Jeff, St. John, how you doing? Hey.
As I say, I spent a lot of time in Moncton. I was partying in Moncton with my buddy one night, and we saw this dude dressed like Santa Claus sitting on a park bench. This was July. And being from Toronto, again, I'm like, oh, this dude must be panhandling, I guess. And we walked by and he wasn't panhandling. And I was like, I don't know what the guy's deal. We walked out a bit later, and this time he was still on the park bench dressed like Santa, but there was a lineup of underage girls in micro dresses lining up to take their picture with him on his lap. And then I figured it out. Santa's a sex offender. He's just a fat guy from Albert County who one day woke up and said, why am I spending hundreds of dollars at the strip club VIP lounge when I can go down to Frenchie's, buy this urine-stained Santa suit, sit on this park bench and have women sit on my lap for free? And again, I felt proud to be a New Brunswicker. Because in other cities, most women would be like, oh, I'm too good to sit on this homeless man's semen-encrusted lap. But the girls of Moncton believe in the magic of Christmas. They don't care if his lap is a crime scene. He looks jolly. Yeah. I love this place. This is a crazy bar, man. This is a crazy room. It's got a little bit of everything. I'd like to say hello to the elves that live in the elf condo up there. You make the chicken wings. I'm expecting because they're home, obviously, the lights are on. They're just watching TV, I guess. I mean, like, oh, another comedy show. Great. Put on the noise-canceling headphones, I guess. And then there's this bar, like, it's kind of like homey, and there's, like, as I say, there's a bit of a gondola ride at Walt Disney World kind of vibe at the back, and then this is like the bar at Cocktail. You remember Cocktail? Who's 50? Cocktail. With Tom Cruise, and he juggled the things. A little bit of everything. One of the things I did is I was a DJ at Toronto's most notorious cougar bar. Dreams do come true. I want to clear up some things about the term cougar. It's a sexist term. Are you guys with me on that? Down with, yeah, it's not cool. Let me just fill you in about the cougar bar. Most people think cougar bar and they think, oh, it's a bunch of like desperate old ladies in animal print. Just like horny old ladies in like cougar, and just like a bunch of like hot, regular looking guys. Like, no, everyone is sad at the cougar bar. Everyone's life peaked before the second Bon Jovi album came out. It's just, they smell of aqua velva and regret. Every guy there looks like Dennis Franz is like your abusive junior hockey coach with like a support Rob Ford bumper sticker on his car. It's just sad. Everyone's thrice divorced and lonely and sad and angry. And so it was a wonderful working environment. But it was great. So that's the thing. I mean, that's the crowd. And what was special though is is the dancing, because this was an older crowd, but they loved to grind. Do you guys know what I mean by grinding? You guys know what I mean by grinding. You elementary teacher, shop teacher, you know what I'm talking about, grinding? This is what, see, because when usually grinding, I know, I'm sorry guys, but this is grinding, it's like this sort of roughly, kind of, but maybe it's the arthritis. No one at this bar could really bend their knees. So what you saw, it was a convex concave mirror thing, and they loved grinding because they all loved 90s reggae. They all loved 90s reggae. They all went to Punta Cana in like 1998, and they got Sun Jammin' 4 in their CD player and their Hyundai Sonata, and they just loved to grind, but they couldn't bend their knees. So what we did, the fellas would do this. It would be belly or genitalia, whatever protruded the furthest. And the ladies would back up. That's it. And I'd hear them chorus like, what do you do? I'm a shop teacher. What? I'm a shop teacher. The name of the bar was called the Chicken Deli, which is perhaps the worst. Was Club Salmonella taken? That's the worst bar name I've ever heard. Just keep driving down the road. If you see a sign that says teen pregnancy, you're in Sussex. You've gone too far. Come on back. Are you guys ready for your first act? Are you guys warmed up? Okay guys, I'm really excited about this first act. One of my favorite comics. He is originally from Sussex, but has performed everywhere. Very, very funny guy, one of the smartest guys working right now tonight. Please welcome to this stage, Mr. Darren Elmore.
Thank you guys, thank you so much. Oh man, it's great to be here, and may I say, those stairs. I just want to start off by saying, those stairs. Whose idea was it to make the fat guy do stairs? This isn't a comedy show, it's an intervention, I think. This is my comedian friend saying, you need to run your ass up and down those stairs for a few times. Is there a venue in St. John where you can like slide down onto the stage or maybe roll off a couch? Because it's booked me there. Yeah, it's great to be here, mainly because of you guys, but also because I'm not in Sussex right now. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I grew up in Sussex, spent most of my adult life in Vancouver, moved back to Sussex recently, and I moved back because Vancouver just frankly got too expensive for me and to live there. It is an expensive city, and if I had to pinpoint the exact moment when it got too expensive, I wouldn't say it was when my rent went up. I wouldn't exactly say it was when I lost my job. If I had to guess, I would say it's when my parents stopped sending me money. I had them fooled too. I told them I was doing a lot of volunteer tech work for the Canadian Armed Forces. They found out that I was just playing Call of Duty 12 hours a day. Said, no mas. I said, fine, damn it. I'm gonna start stealing cars and beating up prostitutes. I said, Darren, we've seen Grand Theft Auto, sell your Xbox. And I'm back home, and I decided I'm going to have to make some changes with my life. I mean, I didn't want to be one of those slacker unemployed people when I lost my job. I mean, I woke up the next morning and I was raring to go. I was going to take on the world, fix all of my problems. I was full of vinegar, as my mother would say. By the way, vinegar, worst smoothie ever. Take my word on this one, if you're drunk, bored, got one of those magic bullet blenders, don't do it. Don't do it. But yeah, so here I am, and I've decided to make some changes in my life. First of all, I decided to lose some weight and get in shape, and I'm really glad to announce that I just passed a milestone. I just lost my 50th pound in the last year. No, don't applaud. It's a process, work in process, and also I'm lying to you. I've actually put on 40 in the last month. Yeah, and it's my fault, I know. I eat trash. I eat the worst possible stuff, and it's killing me, it is. In fact, I'm so worried about my health, I just recently put together a living will, and I made sure that I put in a donut resuscitate order. Not a do not resuscitate order, a donut resuscitate order. If I lose consciousness, shove Tim Hortons into my face. If I don't respond, I found something better, let me go. I also decided that I was going to stop drinking and started going to AA meetings. And by the way, the AA meetings had nothing to do whatsoever with the drinking. I don't have a drinking problem. I'm not an alcoholic. It's just as a comedian, it's way easier to get stage time there. And I don't think I'm being vain when I say I am the funniest person on those shows. Yeah, you lost your kids. Burying your punchlines is not going to bring them back.
One of New Brunswick's bilingual comedians, which is incredibly impressive. Please welcome the very funny man, Mr. Martin Saulnier.
How's everybody doing? I'm just gonna get closer so I can see you guys, because holy you guys look good. You guys are beautiful. I don't know if it's because we drove through Sussex to come here or what it is, but holy. So yeah, so I'm Acadian. I'm French bilingual Acadian. So this is my second set in English this year. I'm practicing because I'm auditioning to be in the next Star Wars movie. So yeah, no, but so I'm 36 and I'm starting to realize that I'm getting older. Now, before I piss these people off here by saying that 36 is old, this is what happened. I had a conversation with my neighbor about the color and the texture of my tea. What freaked me out is that the conversation was interesting for the both of us. Brought me back to when I was 11 and discovered my first cube. You know some weird just around the corner. Begins. I've even started to dislike new technology. Like LG came up with a washing machine that has an application for your iPhone. Now, back in my day, we didn't need Wi-Fi to do the laundry. But I don't know if it's just me, but I don't need a text from my washer letting me know which cycle my dirty underwear are at. At 36, you go to the gym, not to look good. You go because you want to live. I need to get in shape so I can mow my lawn. This is awesome, you guys are laughing, that's great. This is great. At least I know I'm not gonna be that 40-year-old guy who hangs out at the club. I know I'm not gonna be that guy, and I'll tell you why. I was at the mall the other day, and there was a guy standing about 4 feet from me. He was about 40 years old. And a bunch of teenagers passed by. And the guy says, "Man, I'd love to be 16 again." That kind of creeped me out. So an old woman passed by, and I looked at him and I said, "Man, can't wait to turn 78. And he started to say that I was a creep. I was like, holy shit, if this was 50 years ago, you'd probably be a priest. So, how are we doing? Thank you. Great, because there's more coming. All right? Great. That was my time. Thank you very much.
Martin Sonnet! Martin Sonnet! Yes, very funny comedian Martin Sonnet. Not a great babysitter. Not the first person you call. Like, should we keep the show going, guys? You guys fired up? Yes. Very excited about bringing on our next comedian. He is from here. He operates here. He has going to be celebrating the 1-year anniversary of his show at our bar. Yeah, if you don't get shot on the way into our bar, you will have a wonderful night of comedy in downtown St. John. And he also has a wonderful YouTube show called The John Forward Show. Please, a big St. John welcome for one of your own, Mr. John Forward. John!
Don't mind if I do. Hi everybody, I'm John Forward. Are you having a good time? I'm just glad to be here, part of the Best of New Brunswick. This is my 3rd time on this stage since November, and I'm almost ready to stop being mad at Shane for saying no the first time I asked him. But I'm going to try something different tonight. Somebody once told me that I'm really funny, but I'd do even better if I was a little more willing to give the crowd what they wanted. So the setup for this story I'm going to tell you is a bit of a hack premise. It's been done to death, but I'm going to hopefully put some John Forward spin on it. So here goes. Boy, my wife pisses me off sometimes. That's a good comedy setup, but the focus is on the sometimes. I shouldn't be complaining. Not everybody gets to fall in love. We've been together for 9 wonderful years, and it's mostly good. The one thing that she does that me off though, even more than when she farts in the car when we're like 2 minutes away from the house, is that she lets me other girls. Try to anyway. And before anybody gets any ideas, I can just picture guys in the room tonight going home. They're like, honey, what do you think about that stuff that John Forward was talking about? It's not a good, it's exhausting. And not from all the sex I'm having. I'm just terrible at it, but all the effort for nothing is just terrible. And I think that's part of her diabolical plan to keep her hooks in me. It's just a constant reminder of how bad it would be to be single. And it's even worse than single because I don't have that like drive, because I don't really care that much. I usually just get fed up at like 2 in the morning and be like, look, if I'm talking to somebody, I'll be like, look, are we gonna or should I go home and go to bed? And as romantic as that is, it doesn't work. It's not a great line. But the thing about this arrangement we have is when I was in a monogamous relationship, I'd be chatting somebody up at the bar and it's going well, and I shut it down because I'm not a dirty cheater, but you go home and it's in the back of your head like, oh man, if I wasn't saddled with this satisfying relationship with my soulmate, I totally could have that girl at the bar. But since I get to see it play out, I get to find out definitively that no, John Forward, you could not have that girl at the bar. But yeah, and it also doesn't help that I'm pretty honest about it. I don't like to lead anybody on. I'm just very clear that we're just 2 consenting adults having fun, but not every girl wants you to be their boyfriend, but they kind of want you to play along, like maybe it makes them feel better. I don't know, like 1/3 of the Tinder profiles I see say like they are not into hookups. I'm like, well then what are you doing on Tinder? Go to christianmingle.com. This is
All right, so I live out in Clarendon where you can wherever you want. You can whip it out and nobody notices. Or you wouldn't care maybe if, anyway. So my city friends like to come out where they can freely, and but they just love the wildlife, right? They love the deer, and they count them. Every time they see a deer horde, they're like, oh, look, they're beautiful. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh, they're so beautiful. Oh, don't feed them people food, they'll get sick. Oh, God. Oh, and look, one of them has a baby. I do the same thing to my friends in the city. We go up to Waterloo Street and I see the hookers. Oh, look, there's 1, 2, 3. Oh, don't feed them people food, they'll get sick. Oh, and look, one of them has a baby. You can clap, clap. It's funny, goddammit. I wrote that on a napkin for you.
I hate it. It's not good. And I went to the gym a lot. Did anyone else go to the gym through the winter? Yeah, Good Life? No. Some obscure thing. Good Life. Anything but. I hate that place. It's horrible. I hate the repetition. I hate the shit that I see there. Like, I was at the gym not that long ago, okay? I was feeling pretty good. I was having a run. The trainer comes over. He's like, you don't look so good. It's like, thanks a lot. Kind of why I'm here. Great pep talk. Keep it up. So I was running, and I was in the zone, okay? I was running away from my regret towards an unobtainable goal. All right? I was focused on Beyonce. It doesn't get any more zone than that. And this woman gets on the Stairmaster in front of me in a tiny pair of shorts, okay? So I was instantly intrigued. And it was clearly like, she wasn't ready for it. It was clearly last year's summer wardrobe was meeting this year's winter weight gain. And it was a little jarring, I understand. I was there myself. My outfit hurt. It was okay. And she took one step, and her shorts violently inched up her. Okay. I almost lost my footing. I was like, oh my God. It's crazy. Like, I was done at that point, but I stayed just to see how it panned out. I was invested. It was worth it, guys. It was. She did 30 minutes, bless her little heart. Things were red and chafed and slapping. It was crazy. Like, to give you a visual, it looked like a fortune cookie devouring a dishcloth. It's crazy. I don't like it. I'm gonna see that forever. So she was, you guys, I've just ruined fortune cookies. And dishcloths. You're welcome. It's great. I don't want to carry that alone. That's a big burden, guys. I'm going to share it with you. I don't know. So she was done. We hopped off, went into the locker room. Not a big deal, I thought. The first thing I was met with is this moist, murky air. Yeah, exactly. It's always going to be a good thing. So I walked in. It literally wrapped around my face. I was like, what the hell is that? It was a woman drying her with the communal hairdryer. Aww. Bless. I didn't even know what to say. I just stood there, and the woman beside me goes, yeah, that's Sylvia. Thanks a lot, Sylvia. I had my mouth open, okay? We share this space. Yeah. Not good. So I make it through Sylvia Marsh. I go inside to the inner locker room. I'm not even going to do the show. I just want to go sit with that table. Come see me afterwards, you're my people. I don't know. It's a bad place. When you're a visceral person and you take in a lot of detail, the gym isn't safe. It's too many intimate spaces meeting public things. And I walked in and there was a naked woman sitting on the bench in there, literally suction cupped. I'd never thought about this before. And she was desperately trying to grab her gym bag, which was out of reach. Yeah, sounded like a pickup basketball game. It was awesome. Not good. And I'd never thought about this before, so I just started mapping out the entire room, okay? Making a mental note of the surfaces I don't ever want to touch again, all right? I'm gonna pass that on to you. When you walk in and you see that bench, empty and unsuspecting, don't believe it's lies, okay? Just picture the way it would look on CSI under the black light. Exactly. Just a horrifying rustic stamper painting, okay? Like half an apple, half a pear, like... Don't put your bits down. It's not safe. It's not good. I don't like the things I see. I'll never unsee them. Like group showers. Enough with the group showers. Curtains are cheap and walls aren't that hard. Like, enough already. Like the people you see in there, it's never the one you want to see. Like it's never Megan Fox, you know? It's always Rodney Dangerfield. God damn it.
That's not true. I am short. This is all I have to work with. And before you go calling out your cute little short jokes, I just want to let you know that I've heard them all before. I also want to let you know to tread lightly, because like me, my fuse is also very short. I said my fuse, not my... Luckily, my is average. And it's weird too, because my fingers are short, my legs are short, my temper is short, but my is average. You know, my wife, she's 5'10", and a lot of people think that we're a strange couple. But what they don't realize is that we met in the dark. She had no idea I was short. She was just going by feel. To her in the dark, I felt average. I fooled her. She has a sense of humor about it, though. She calls me her better quarter. And I call her a... You know, she's lucky I can't get up there at her, because I'd drag her right back down to my level. Level 1. You know, when people meet me for the first time, they say, man, you're so short. And I don't mind them saying it, but it's the way they say it. It sounds accusatory, like it's my fault, like I chose short. Like before I was born, I went up to God and I said, hi, God. I know I don't believe in you because you me over. And of course, you don't get to choose your own height, but I'll take short, please. And then God said in his imaginary voice, are you sure? Because the ladies down there, they like tall, dark, and handsome. Are you sure you want to go 0 for 3? And I said, yeah, God, I know they like tall, but I might want to go trick-or-treating when I'm 40 years old. I like candy. Would you trade heights with me? No, of course you wouldn't. Why would you? Why would you want to be short? To work in a chocolate factory? To use less soap? To win the game of hide and go seek? No, no one wants to be short. It's terrible. Especially at my particular height, because at 5'3", I'm kind of in limbo. I'm not quite a man, and I'm not quite a midget. But sometimes I wish I was a midget, you know? Because I'm in this weird place where I'm too short to dunk a basketball, but I'm too tall to bite a wrestling referee on. It's a bad place to be. The only time it's a good place to be 5'3" is when your wife has big and she's 5'10". Thanks very much, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a very, very funny man. Tonight's headliner, Mr. James Mullinger. James Mullinger.
Genuinely nice to be here. My favourite venue, my favourite people. Friends and neighbours. We are all related here in St. John, aren't we? I've only been here a year and a half. Everyone's related. It makes it impossible. You can't, in London where I'm from, you can be very anonymous. You can get around, no one knows you, no one you ever see the same person twice. Here, I go to pick up my son from school, and a woman will come running over going, James, James, James. I'm like, where's the fire? And she'll come up and go, I saw you in Sobeys earlier. What am I supposed to do with that information? And it's worse on places like the Kingston Peninsula. Has anyone been to the Kingston Peninsula? Yes. Anyone that hasn't been, it's about 4,000 years that way. My wife's from here, most of her family there, she grew up there, and I like visiting the Kingston Peninsula, I don't mind going there, but that's possibly because I'm a big fan of the film Deliverance. But I love it here, but it's difficult with everyone knowing your business, everyone's related, you can't do anything naughty. Like, you couldn't have an affair in St. John. You couldn't check into a hotel without 50 people telling everyone that night. It's awful. And also, to be fair, it's quite risky having an affair here because everyone's related, so odds are you're probably your aunt.
I'm
I've had to get used to a lot of changes here, a lot of changes. I've been here a year and a half now. I'm genuinely loving it here, but getting used to all the changes is difficult because you didn't give me a rule book when I arrived. No, you let me up on my own. For example, right, I'll give you an example, and it's still happening now, a year and a half, and I'm still making mistakes, right? 3 weeks ago, a guy said to me, he goes, "Oi James, do you want to come and watch midget hockey?" I said, "Yeah!" Midget hockey? Of course I want to watch midget hockey! When I arrived, everyone said, "You want to come and see hockey?" I thought, hockey sounds a bit boring. Midget hockey? I don't know if you know this, but I went to midget hockey. No midgets. It's a disgrace. What is this false advertising? I got there, the guy's there, he's watching this game of hockey going on, and I'm there kind of looking around the other way, can I not see them? Where the f*** are they? And he's going, "Why aren't you watching the game? My son's playing." And I'm like, "Where are the midgets?" But in other countries don't screw you over like this, right? If you go to Indonesia and they offer you to come and watch midget wrestling, not disappointed at all. It delivers on the tin. If a friend of yours in England says, "James, would you like to borrow my VHS video of midget porn?" Not disappointed at all. It's a shame. You don't get a rule book coming here. I didn't get a rule book for the words either. You know, there's lots of words that are different here. Like, I don't know if you know, you guys say sidewalk, and I would say pavement. You say trunk of the car, I'd say boot of the car. But the one I wasn't aware of, that made my first time out of the house very difficult indeed, is that here you call these pants, don't you? Right? Trousers are pants. In England, pants are the underpants. That made my first doctor's appointment pretty awkward. When I went to see Dr. Scott in Grand Bay, Westfield, about my dodgy knee, and he said, "Take off your pants, I'll be back in a minute." And I was new, I thought he was doing the full checkup, right? You know, I don't know what the rules are to live in St. John. For all I knew, he was doing that, you know that thing doctors sometimes do, the tappy-tappy? Tappy-tappy, what is that? What? Checking you've got 2 testicles, right? I thought maybe you have to have 2 testicles to live in St. John. So what did I know? Something, or maybe that's what he wants to do, right? So I'm there in the middle of Dr. Scott's office, Grand Bay, Westfield. He goes, where do they go when they go out of the room? What is that? You know, take off your this, I'll be back in a minute. Where the f*** are they going? There's like a room full of like computers just with solitaire on them, and they just sit and play for 10 minutes. Meanwhile, Muggins here is standing in the middle of Dr. Scott's office, Grand Bay, Westfield Doctor's Surgery. I take off my trousers, as they should be called. I take off my pants, or as you would call them, underpants. And I'm standing in the middle of the room, a bit awkward. And then I realised that my t-shirt was hanging over the goods. And I thought, this is only going to make it more awkward. If he comes in and he's got to do his tappy-tappy thing, I don't want to have to be kind of going... So, honest to God, I took my t-shirt off, right? I thought, let's make this quick and painless, right? Let's make this nice and easy for Dr. Scott. He comes in, does his tappy-tappy, shirt on, done, right? So I'm standing there, stark naked, like this. And I didn't really know how to stand, right? I didn't want to be kind of like... I actually was trying to hide my dignity from the door, but I thought if he comes in and I'm like this, like all coy, like... Looks like I'm like coming on to him, right? So I thought, well, I can't do that. So I thought, well, look, I'll sit down, right? So I sit down. And of course, that's not a pretty sight. So I'm like, well, I'll cross my leg. But again, that's all sexy and coy, isn't it? I'm like, basic instinct on him, right? So what I did is I stood in the middle of the room and I just thought, well, this is the safest bet. He comes in and I'll just cover myself. So I'm literally standing there for about 5 minutes now. This is about 5 minutes in. I'm standing there like this. Right, 5 minutes later, Dr. Scott walks in, right, and I thought, well, he's here to check them, so there's no point dragging this out any longer. Now, I'm a bit embarrassed about this, but I'll be completely honest, this is what I did. He walks in the room, and I went like this. The only thing that could have made it worse is if I'd have gone, Dylan! Terrible. There's lots of happy couples in tonight, I see. Happy couples. Look at this. Look at this table of beautiful, well-dressed, sexy women and some in flip-flops. Only in St. John does a guy get the call, hey, so do you want to come out with me and my 7 gorgeous mates tonight? We're all getting dolled up, we're going out for a nice meal, a few drinks, go and watch some comedy, and he thinks, yeah, I'll put my best flip-flops on for this. Only in St. John. And he's got his best Bermuda shorts on as well. The nicest thing about his Bermuda shorts is I can tell, right? These have not been ironed in about a decade. It's got all the trademark details of a St. John pair of Bermuda shorts. A bit of burn from a bonfire, a hole from a hot rock falling out of a bomb, bit of mousse light smeared across there, and the obligatory bit of right there. Nice to meet you, my friend. Thank you for coming out and putting on your nicest Bermuda shorts, flip-flops. He's got a nice chain on though, so he's made a bit of an effort. It's nice living here, I like it. I actually first visited here 15 years ago. My wife's from here, she grew up here, and we started dating. And we've been dating for a few months, and she said, you should come and stay with my family for Christmas. All right, don't turn up in flip-flops and talk to the gig, mate. Don't be offering fashion tips at a time like this. What was I saying? I'm not being rude, just other people here. It's not all about you. Yes, I first visited 15 years ago. It was Christmas 2000. My wife and I started dating in September, and things were moving quite well, and we were quite happy, and she said, you should come and stay with my family for Christmas. We live in a place called St. John. I went, lovely. So she said, come out on Christmas Eve. So I booked my ticket, and I arrived at St. John Airport, and I'm there, and I'm phoning her going, I'm here, and she goes, well, I can't see you. It's a pretty small airport. I was at bloody St. John's. Oh, I know! Why are there 2 places with almost identical names? So when you book it, it should say, are you sure you want to go to this one? Or the other one with the same name for no reason whatsoever? Well, is it just a with English people? I've no idea. There's 2 Sackvilles, about an hour apart. There's one in Nova Scotia and one in New Brunswick. Yes, I've made that mistake as well. So there's me at St. John's Airport, right? And she's going, oh no, you're at St. John's, I should have said. Yes, you should have said! So I'm like, right, I'll get a plane, but of course you can't get a direct plane, because that would be far too sensible. Why don't we just have like what we've got here? Let's have 3 tiny airports about an hour away from each other that don't go anywhere but Halifax. Let's have 1 big airport that goes somewhere that we actually want to go on holiday. That's not a joke, it's just me ranting. So I get on the first flight, then I get on the second flight, so by this point I'm pretty pissed off already, right? It's cost me a lot of money, but you know, I really wanted to meet my wife's family. So I arrive at St. John Airport, but of course, no one ever really arrives at St. John Airport, do they? I circled St. John Airport for 3 hours, then landed in bloody Fredericton. Do any planes actually land at St. John Airport? I've never been on one. So I'm at Fredericton Airport now, and I get into my rent-a-car more expense, and I type the address into the GPS of the Kingston Peninsula. And it says, you're an hour away, you're half an hour away, you're 10 minutes away, you're 5 minutes away, so I'm all excited. Then suddenly I reach this kind of edge, and there's no bridge. just the ferry boat. And of course I've grown to love the ferry boats, don't get me wrong. I know why you have the ferry boats in the Kingston Peninsula, it's because you don't want us coming in. It's to keep outsiders out. So I'm there going, well, why wasn't this told to me? Why wasn't I told? Why aren't there bridges? Do they not know about bridges? I couldn't figure it out. And to be honest, every year, for the subsequent 15 years, I've come to visit to stay with my wife's parents on the Kingston Peninsula. Every year I would arrive at the Grand Bay Westfield ferry boat, and every other year, I'd say about every 2 years, there'd be a sign up saying, ferry boat broken. We need to raise another $4 million for another ferry boat. $4 million every year. Do you have any idea how many bridges they could have built? And here's an idea, if they're not going to build a bridge, why don't they just get all the broken ferry boats, put them back to back across the water, we'll drive across the broken ferry boats. There's a solution. Cheers everyone, this is fun. It's been a good show tonight, so let's hear it for the best of New Brunswick here tonight. Since I moved here a year ago, I've been travelling around most of this country doing clubs, venues, theatres, art centres all over, and I can honestly say the talent in this province is absolutely mind-blowing. There is no other part of Canada with so many fantastic comedians. Let's hear it, all those awesome comedians we've already seen tonight. Another perfect example is in England, right? If you go to someone's house for dinner and they offer you a glass of wine, they say, would you like a glass of wine, James? And you say, I'd love a glass of wine, thanks very much. You know what they'll do? They'll go out of the room and they'll come back with a glass of wine. Thanks very much. There's no caveats, no buts. Here in New Brunswick, whole different beast, isn't it? You go to someone's house for dinner, they say, would you like a glass of wine? You say, I'd love a glass of wine, thanks very much. And then there's a sentence they will say that will make your heart drop, and that sentence is, I made it myself! Guess what, Auntie Brenda? I don't want any of you just had watered poison Kool-Aid moonshine, thanks very much. And it's not just pants, there's other words that are different, like, here, I understand the word fag. It can be a derogatory term used to describe homosexuals, is that right? Very naughty, you shouldn't do that. Especially because in England, a fag is a cigarette. Do you know that? We call them fags, have a fag, light a fag, I'm a fag, if you like. But I had no idea of the difference. And I arrived here trying to explain to people how much I smoke by saying that my lips have been on the butts of more fags than Freddie Mercury. You're a very happy couple there. How long have you guys been together? Yes, the guy that put the hoodie on for his date tonight. How long have you guys been together? 2.5 years. Young love, ladies and gents. Young love. Are you engaged yet? Married. You're rushing it. Jesus Christ. Oh, was it a classic St. John shotgun wedding? That's nice. 2.5 years. I've been with my wife 15 years now. So it's nice looking at them. They're still touching and everything. I bet he doesn't have to beg for sex, like he just has to ask. I just heard my next door neighbour Jane laugh really loudly at that. Because I think that she probably hears me begging at night. Like I think she probably thought that when she heard me going, please, please! It was like for another piece of cake or something. It's not, it's for sex, Jones. So if you ever want to come and fill in, come in any time. She's actually here with her husband and daughter, I shouldn't have said that. It's nice, I can see the happiness in your eyes, it's nice. I like looking at young couples in the early stages when you're still doing all those little romantic things. Do you remember those early stages? Have you guys been together? No, you don't remember, do you? I don't remember. 20 years, 15 years, 2 years. He's still doing all them things he used to do. You know those little romantic touches, all those little romantic nuggets that you do just to make them think they're with the right person. You know those little romantic touches, like, I don't know, closing the bathroom door when you're having a... Remember that? Me neither. Is he still doing that? What a Casanova. I'll be honest with you, I mean, it doesn't last, does it? Those little romantic... I mean, I'll be honest, I feel like I'm amongst friends, neighbours, family. I've been married so long now, that if I'm halfway through a poo, and I notice the door's closed, I open it just to it off. I go to Newfoundland a lot to perform, and it's weird. It's like all of the places in Newfoundland were named by a porn company. Have you been there? I look at my tour sheet, right? I'm looking at the tour sheet. I honestly thought I'd picked up someone's like sex shop shopping list. It's like show 1, dildo. Right near dildo, I you know there was a place called Spread Eagle. And the third venue we had to go to was in a place called Come By Chance. I said, I don't mind going there, because after all, I am a gambling man. I was talking about, one of the things I was told I had to do when I moved in was I was told I had to become addicted to Kijiji. And I have done that. Do we have Kijiji fans in the house? Yeah. Oh, you're a big Kijiji fan? This got his outfit on Kijiji. It was like, homeless guy dead, come get his clothes. What are you gonna do, right? I did have some genuinely good news a few weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, an envelope arrived that changed my life because this is backing up how much I like it here. I received in the post, ladies and gents, my permanent resident card for Canada. Permanent resident. You're stuck with me. I'm staying here. Or so I thought, right? I'm like, great, my permanent resident card's here. We're going to have a party. And my wife pulls it out and goes, yeah, but James, it does say permanent resident card, but at the bottom there's a expiry date. Sent back on a Grand Bay Westfield ferry boat all the way to England. But of course, you know, my wife's obviously Canadian, my 2 kids are Canadian, they now obviously have Canadian passports, so at some point it will make sense for me to apply to be a Canadian, have a Canadian passport. But I'll be honest with you, because we're all friends, I don't really want to be a Canadian. I don't want to be known as a Canadian. What I want, ladies and gents, is to be known as a New Brunswicker, right? That's what I want, right? I want all of you, right, when you see me in the street, and I know it's going to take time, I've got to earn my stripes, and I've got to know what's what, and I've got to not think that pants are pants, and I've got to, you know, stop selling dildos at yard sales, right? I've got to learn about the snow on the roof and all that, right? I've got to learn all these things, right? I've got to stop just everywhere I go. But when that time comes, I want you to see me and not go, oh, there's James the English comedian. Right? I want you to see me and go, there's James, the New Brunswicker! One of us, right? That's what I want. And you know what? I'm going to do all the things I have to do to make that happen, right? This is my dream, right? I'll be honest with you. I want to make homemade wine. But not just that, right? I want to make homemade wine out of a blue plastic barrel that I stole before the pulp mill shut down. Yes, I'm going to do it all. I want to drive a 4-wheeler on a highway. I want to wear head-to-toe camouflage just to go to Tim Hortons. I want to make jokes about newfies. I want to buy everything I need from Kijiji. I want to sell dildos at yard sales. I want to grow fiddleheads. I want my next family reunion to take place in a disused parking lot of Zellers. I want my cure for the common cold to be to drink a quart of rum and sleep in a ditch. I want to think that it's perfectly acceptable to pick up women at the Irving Big Stop. I want to shoot a moose without a hunting license. My name's James Mullinger and I am a New Brunswicker! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very, very much indeed for coming out tonight. Please keep supporting live comedy. Keep supporting Shane Ogden's shows. Before I go, can I just say, better do it for Shane Ogden, the man that works tirelessly to make these shows what they are. And they are bar none some of the finest shows across Canada. Let's give it up for Shane Ogden. I'll pass you back to him in a minute. Thank you for making this so fun. We are filming this for a Better Live show called Blimey in Englishman Atlantic Canada. There are cards on the way out. The website is just blimeyenglishman.com. There's actually 18 episodes of me travelling around the Maritimes making big mistakes. So please do tune in. They're all free to watch. And I have a CD to sell, and I'm playing the Appeal Theatre on the 8th of October. So basically just watch, breathe, sleep, live everything I do. Thank you very much. You've been absolutely wonderful. I love St. John. I love you. Thanks very much. Cheers. Good night. Thank you.
James Mullinger, keep it going for James Mullinger, ladies and gentlemen.